Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. It's your English class with Mrs. Subhana Kousar. Today we are going to start the second part of the question correction of errors. So some of the rules of parts of speech, that how to, if there is a paragraph given to you, how you will be following the specific rules regarding the parts of speech to be highlighted in the paragraphs or the mentioned in the paragraphs. So let me continue the correction of errors regarding parts of speech. A horse is a faithful animal. A horse, article a is wrong here. It should have been the horse is a faithful animal, because you always use article the, this definite article, with the subject that you talk about the whole race of that subject. It means that we are by using article the with this subject horse, it means we are talking about the whole race of the horses, that horse is a kind of creature that is always faithful. For example, if I say that the dog is a faithful animal, it means I'm talking about the whole race of dogs and horses, that this creature is very much faithful or very much strong. So it means that by adding article the with any kind of subject, it shows that we are talking about the whole race, the whole generation. Got it? He acted upon my good advices. The plural of advice is not advices. He acted upon my good pieces of advice. The most important rule regarding noun, let me make it clear that there are some nouns that they always remain same in their original form. For example, the word, it always would be advice, and not advices, means advices is wrong. What is there, that if you are going to make plural of some nouns, then you are not going to add s with them. You need to add some partitives with them to make the singularity or plurality of that noun. For example, what is partitives? Partitives mean parts, some parts. For example, if I say he acted upon my good pieces of advice, again telling you that advice would remain same in its original form, and to make plurality or of the noun, we would use pieces of advice. Or if I say I'm talking about one advice that he has given me, I would use that he gave me a piece of advice in the same form, and for one advice you would use a piece of advice, for more pieces of advice. Got it? Similarly, one more example, the information's word is wrong. The information is always taken as singular noun. Or like news, the news is good, the news is told. So news and information is always taken as singular noun. But if you want to make plural with them, or plural of them, you won't add s. Got it? How can you make it the plural of these nouns or such kind of nouns? Similarly, by adding partitives. And what would be the partitive of information to make the plural of it? The items of information, the pieces of information. Information, again, like advice, information would always remain the same as information in its original form. And to make the plural, we would use partitives, the pieces of information, the items of information, or an item of information is given to me, or a piece of information is given to me. Got it? This is about how to make the plural of some of the nouns that we cannot add s with them. Got it? So the next one, how can we use the helping verb accordingly with such kind of nouns? So if I say the informations, you know it is wrong. The information given in the paper is not true. Information, news is always taken as singular. But if it is are here, what should it have been there in the beginning? The pieces of information, the items of information given in the paper are not true. Then it would be correct. Got it? The next one, they bought many furniture for this home. Similarly, furniture is always taken as singular. The furniture is new, is good. So many furniture, if you want to make a plural of it, or if you want to show that I have got so many items of furniture, so many is not correct. Again, you need to put partitives. They bought many items of furniture. Items, the word item, an item of furniture is new, again singular. Or if I say items of furniture are new. Got it? Again, you need to add here. Many items means you need to add what would you call it? Items, pieces, or such kind of the word that you add, we call them partitives. Got it? Next, I am learning how to speak the English. The English. Never use article the with the language or with the subject. I am learning how to speak English. If you want to use article the with language or subject, you need to add the word. I am learning how to speak the English language. You need to add that word language, or you need to add the word subject. For example, if I say that I am learning how to speak the English language or how to speak the English subject, the word language should have been there with the subject, the word with English or with whatever Urdu. If we are using any subject, talking about any subject or talking about any language, the word should have been there, the English language or the English subject. If it would be there together like in this way, in the same sentence, then you can go for article the. Otherwise, if the word of language and subject would not be there, never use article the with the subject or with the language separately if they are given. Understood? The rich should help the poor. As previously I told you that by adding article the with the adjective, it itself becomes plural noun. Then, and you can go for plural using plural helping verb. The rich are, the blind are. But here if you have added the with the adjective, you do not need to add s or es. But here it means that if article the is added with adjective, this s would be wrong. The rich should help the poor. It has become already, we have made it plural. Pakistanis are hard working people. Pakistanis, you know that Pakistanis is derived from the proper noun Pakistan. So Pakistanis would be proper adjective taken or derived from the proper noun Pakistan. So for first of all, with all the proper adjectives, always you go for article the Pakistanis, the Indians, the Africans, number one. Number two, all the proper adjectives will be used, will go in with first letter capital. So Pakistani P with capital is correct here, but we need to add article the with proper adjectives. Understood? This answer sounds queerly. The flower smells sweetly. Smells, sound, smells, taste, look, appear, grow, feel, touch. You know, these are called sensory verbs. And first of all, they talk about the sensation. You feel that it is going to be happened. He looks nice to me, or he seems good to me. He seems nice to me. So it means that you are feeling it, that about that person, about that subject, about the thing, that the sensation is there. That is why we nominate them. We call them that sounds, smell, touch, feel, look, appear. He appears nice to me. So these are all called sensory verbs. Number 1. Number 2, we always count them, bring them in the category of linking verbs as well. You have already read about them in detail, but it's a recalling activity. Linking verbs as well. And you know that all the sensory verbs and linking verbs, they always take adjective with them, not adverb. So it would be wrong. Sweetly would be wrong. We need to add adjective with the sensory or linking verbs. The flower smells sweet. This answer sounds queer. Queer means strange. He looks nice. He appears good to me. Got it? Next, I was used to get up in the morning. It seems that it is correct what madam is talking about. Do, that we do get up. Get, first form of verb with do, that is correct, that is infinitive, correct. But let me make it clear one thing, please, that if what is used to, you know, is a modal verb. And if with this expression used to, it that talks about your routines that you've been used to or accustomed to, or you are accustomed to, that talks about your routine tasks, routine life, or your habits. So if with this modal verb used to, if before that, again please note it down, if before that if there is linking verb, was, is, am, are. For example, I am used to, I was used to, they are used to. If we are using is, am, are, was, were, whatever, then you need to put ing structure here. Got it? You need to put ing structure. I was used to getting up in the morning. So add ing structure, used to getting up. So what would become as a part of speech there, or what would be the what would we call this ing structure here? I was used to getting up in the morning. This would be gerund then. Understood? Gerund then. It will become noun then. If it is, am, are, was, were, before modal verb used to, then this you need to add ing structure here. It will become gerund, it will become noun. Got it? She speaks a lie. No, she speaks the truth. Always use speak with truth, and you always use tell with lie, which speaking the truth and telling a lie. Got it? Speaking the truth and telling a lie. Speak with truth and tell with lie. Either he or I are wrong. You know that either or, neither nor, we use helping verbs with the nearest subject. So the nearest subject is I. So it should have been either he or I am wrong. Okay. Am wrong. Got it? Don't let his go. Let his go. after let we always use, if there is any case of pronoun, it would be in objective case. Always let go for objective case of pronoun. Let him go, let me do, let them, him, her, them, me. These are the objective cases of pronoun. I already explained it to you. The subject case means is what? He, she, they, I. These are the we, subjective case. The subject willingly, with his own will, does every activity. And objective case, him, her, them, me are not they are not willing to do that. They're forced to do that. You know that in passive voice, that is why we always use objective cases, that apples were eaten by me, him. It means that you willingly, you been passive there, not active. You didn't willingly do. And his is the possessive case. For example, this is his book, his car. So after let, objective case of pronoun is required. Hopefully you understood well. He is taller than me. No, you know that first of all, taller, second degree of adjective is used. We have, whenever you compare one subject with another, he is compared with me. So whenever you go for the comparison of one subject with another, you go for the second degree of adjective, taller, and then you always go for then. For the comparison of two subject, it is correct. But after then, the objective case of pronoun is wrong. After then, always go for the subjective case of pronoun. He is taller than I. He is better than he is better than him. That is wrong. He is better than, for example, for she, or if I say that he is better than I. So subjective case of pronoun would always be used after then, not any objective case. Got it? Next, correction of errors. If he works hard, he would pass. First of all, if he works hard, works, first form of verb used. If clause is always conditional clause, where the condition is put there, where the condition is given to you, that if you are going to fulfill the action mentioned in if part, if clause, conditional clause, then you would be enjoying the result, and that is why this is called result clause or future clause. So if he works hard, he would pass. No, if you remember, works, first form of verb, and what is the first form of verb of would? Would is wrong, please. Is will. So what is correct? If he works hard, he will pass. But let me make it clear to you that you know it already, but it's a recalling activity, that why is would wrong here? If he works hard, you know that when we use first form of verb in conditional clause, you need to go for the again first form by that is will, because what is the difference between will and would? That in the first conditional, or what is the meaning, what is the purpose of using first conditional, that there is more possibility of action mentioned in the if clause or conditional clause to be taken. Means that though yet we have not observed him working harder, but there are more chances, we are hopeful, quite hopeful, that he will start hard working and he would pass. That is why we go for the first form, and first form we will go for the use of will, because the possibility level is more than the second conditional where we use would. Because for example, if he worked hard, if he went there, he would pass or he would enjoy. And would and will, the difference in the first form and worked second form is that the possibility level in second conditional is less than the first conditional. So it should have been will here. Hopefully you have understood it well. It is very hot to sit in the sunshine. So for the rule that very is used with the first degree of adjective. That is correct. So what is wrong here? So look here, it is very hot to sit in the sunshine. If this kind of structure is given, for example, if I say it is dash hot, it is dash cold to go outside. So to mention it is this very is wrong here. The structure of TWO2 should have been there. It means that we are highlighting the level of degree of hotness. This is the structure that is used in such kind of structures to mention the intensity, to highlight the intensity. For example, it is too hot to sit, it is too cold to go outside, it is too dark to go outside. So 2 and 2, the structure that should be used if it is very hot, that is if this structure should not have been there, so it was correct, it is very hot, because very is used with the first degree of adjective. But the next structure shows that if very is not required here, to show the intensity of the whole sense, you need to use 2 and 2. Got it? It's a level of degree that talks about the hotness of weather. Then the climate of the climate of Murray is nicer than Multan. What? The climate, when you know that whenever you compare two subjects, you compare the same qualities. The climate should be of Murray should be compared with the climate of Multan, not the climate of Murray with the whole Multan. No, with it means that we need to add the climate of Murray is nicer than the climate of Multan. You would compare the same quality of one subject of one thing with the same quality of the other subject as well. So this structure is wrong, that we have compared the climate of Murray and we are talking about the everything of Multan. There are so many qualities, specification that Multan is famous for. So this is wrong. First of all, again, the climate of Multan is nicer than the climate of Multan or then that of Multan. If you are not mentioning the quality again here, then that of Multan is also correct. Number one, then the climate of Multan, number one, then that of Multan. That means that is demonstrative adjective here, that refers to again the quality that we are talking about, the climate. Got it? Then look here, the comparison of two subject, second degree is used, this is correct. Then is used, this is correct. Don't forget that for the comparison of two subject, second degree of adjective is always used, then is used. Got it? So these both are correct. Next, punctuation. Spot the error. The next category is that there might be some errors of punctuation related as well. So punctuation you've been doing in your first year and you've been practicing, and I hope that you have been practicing throughout your first year, but that is why I'm not going into the detail of punctuation, but it's a recalling activity, as I already told you that the correction of error is a long or time taking this part that needs a lot of knowledge and practice, and inshallah we will be doing it properly and in detail, but it's as a recalling activity. And some important rules I am teaching you here, that hopefully you would be able to deal the question in a perfect way by following by having command over these some of the specific rules. First of all, let me look at the first sentence in Punctuation. In the immense stretches of space beyond the Milky Way, it is colder still. Read again. In the immense stretches of space beyond the Milky Way. Don't you feel that there should have been comma here? That we are talking about that Milky Way is a galaxy. That beyond the galaxy, it is what? Beyond galaxy what? Comma. It is colder still. We need to separate these two clauses, these two, the sense that the writers is used. So it should have been comma here. Diseases, yellow fever, malaria, cholera, typhoid fever spread throughout the community. Diseases. Don't you feel something is missing here? It should have been what? Colon there. It means that colon there. This is colon. It means that when you know that we always go for the use of colon whenever you are going to explain something in detail, or whenever you are going to provide the list of something. For example, diseases. Which diseases? Mention colon. Yellow fever, malaria, and typhoid, and so many diseases he talk about. So by the use of colon, the sentence would show the brevity as well. Means the sentence would automatically will be in brief form, in the precise form, and you have already done that. We go for the use of colon whenever you want to precise the sentence, whenever you want to skip some of the word, whenever you want to go for wordiness, means some of the words you want to skip. If I use diseases like some diseases like, so it means I skipped the word some and I skipped the word like, and I skipped two words and used one colon. So on the one hand, that we know that by the use of colon we can make the sentence shorter one. So it's this technique again, it's a recalling activity. So for your Pressy writing is concerned. Done. He said that God put those tonsils in his son's throat for some good purpose. Son's throats. Sons. Don't you feel that it should have been apostrophe here? Apostrophe here. Sons. His son's throat. It means that he is talking about his son who is ill, and he wants his son to get operated or not. So he is talking about such a kind of situation. So by putting apostrophe after son, that then it would show that he is talking about the sense of possession, that the throat, he is talking about the throat of his son. Son's throat. Got it? For example, if I say Ahmad's books, you have already done this in first year. In my agony of decision, I left the place. In my agony of decision. Agony means pain. That was a painful moment that he failed to take decision. You know that the I, so for the subject is concerned, so this pronoun I, when it is taken as a proper subject, it is always used in this form, not with this point. This is wrong here. It should have been always used in this form, or we go for in the use of this structure. Got it? But if we are writing a word, we are talking about a word, or we are writing a word, for example ink, then this would be right. But so for when we talk about I as this pronoun, first person pronoun as a subject, then this use like this. Then, is it deposited? I asked in a low voice. Is it deposited? Look, narration here. Don't you feel that in a low voice I asked a question? I asked something about, or if there should have been something is missing. Is it deposited? Don't you feel that there should have been question mark here, and then question mark, use of question mark, and then comma, double inverted commas close, because question mark is the part of the sentence. Is it deposited, question mark, and then commas close. Compared to China. What? China? Proper noun ends with small letter? Oh God, big mistake. Compared to China, proper noun is always capitalized. Compared to China in 1949, Russia in 1917. It means that there should have been, I feel, comma here. Compared to China in 1949, that this part is separately mentioned about, talking about China. Russia, proper noun, Russia, with capital letter, proper noun. Or Russia in 1917 compared to China in 1949, Russia in 1917 faced shattering multi-colonial experience. Correct? The famous Germanic people gave title to Spain as the jewel of the world. The famous, look here, article the is used with adjective correct. Germanic, derived from Germany. Don't you feel that the G should have been capital, because this G, Germanic, is proper adjective. So proper adjectives, that we always use them or write them with capital letter. So number one, in the famous Germanic people gave title to Spain. So Spain, proper noun, S capital, it is correct. They gave the title to Spain as the jewel of the world. It means this is the title, and the titles are they used always in inverted commas, and the first letter is all of the titles is always in used in first letter would be always capital. The T capital, jewel, J capital, of the world, W capital. And why not of and this the here? This the would be capitalized because it is the start of the sentences. You can say that our start of the title is there. So why not this article the here? Because in the titles you never use the preposition and articles with capital letters. Again I repeat, in whenever you go for the whenever you write the titles, always take this thing in your mind, take this rule, keep this rule in your mind, that articles and prepositions are not capitalized, never, but we always go for the other words that we need to use the first letter in capital shape as well. Understood? That is why the jewel, J capital, world, W capital, and use of commas here. Got it? Next. Never mind you are full young, it's matter of experience. What? If I go for the reading of this sentence, look here, without any use of any punctuation, never mind you are full young, it's a matter of experience. Do you understand what I am saying? What's this? Never mind, comma. It means that there should have been pause here. Like if I say therefore, it's transitional word. Or if I say however, moreover, nevertheless, nonetheless. So these such kind of transitional word that bring a transition, a change, a pause in the speech, a beauty of speech is there. Never mind, you are full, you are, something is missing. Contraction is there. The contraction, you know that the short form of verbs, that it what is missing here? Is missing here, and you need to go for contraction. You are full young. You are full young. Never mind, you are full young, comma. It's a matter of experience. It's, you have already done. It means that this it talks about the possession. For example, there is a dog, and I'm telling you about that, or we are talking about that there is a dog I have seen, its tail, or I have a pen with me, its cap is blue. This shows a possession, we are talking that this tail is of dog, or this cap is of this pen. But it is wrong. We are not talking about any possession here. We need to put apostrophe here. Again, we need to go for contraction. You are, it is, by putting apostrophe here, it means that we are talking about that we want to tell you that it is there, that there is, that it is not contraction, is, was, should have been there, that it is, what would be the sense of the sentence? It is a matter of experience. Or if, for example, if it had been, it was a matter of experience. So the use of contraction means that you need to you need to put contraction because there is some some word was missing, some letter was there, like you are is missing here, and here is. Understood now? Okay, for example, if I say can't, and what is CAN? Can't. Go for that. Go for the contraction of can't. What is missing here? This is apostrophe, and this is, what is missing here? Oh, letter O is missing here. Short form. This is short form, contraction. And what is the full form? Cannot. Not is missing here. Got it? So this is a short form. It is a matter of experience. So now read the sentence. Never mind, you are full young. It is a matter of experience. Now I can understand with the passage he wants to say that with the passage of time, with after gaining experience, then the things will go better. Usman is the best basketball player. However, he is weak nowadays. Look, I have given pause. Usman is the best basketball player. However, he is weak nowadays. Now you can understand it. But if I read, Usman is the best basketball player. However, he is weak nowadays. No sense, because there is obviously I need to read it in the same way I need to go so quick, I need to be so quick to go for the reading of the sentence, because there is no pause, no use of punctuation, no use of commas, nothing is there. So it means that I need to go, I need to rush, and when I quickly read the sentence gives no sense. That is why this is the purpose of the use of punctuation, that for example that it leaves a transition, a pause, a beauty is there. It tells you, it talks about the use of punctuation means that, for example, I am live talking to someone and I can observe the other person's gestures, his mood, his tone, his expressions, I can guess. But if the person is not in front of you, and if the writer is talking to you, if you are writing a letter or piece of writing to someone, then how would you guess the mood of that person, the tone and attitude and the mind and the approach of that person? Only through use of punctuation. That is why we need to add this punctuation or speech marks, so that you can easily understand other person's mood. So let me explain. Usman is the best basketball player. What is this? It is a complete, Usman is the best basketball player, complete independent sentence. Independent, we know that everything is clear about Usman. Then he is weak nowadays. Independent sentence. So with two independent sentences, whenever you join two independent sentences, you always go for fanboys. You know what is fanboys? Let me recall. Fanboys. Fanboys. What is that? Again, to join two independent sentences, you go for the addition of fanboys: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. For example, if I say Usman is the best basketball player and he is weak nowadays, but he is weak nowadays, but you have not used fanboys here. It means that whenever to combine two independent sentences, if you are not going for, or if you are not using fanboys, you need to add some transition words there. Keep this thing in your mind. And whenever to join two independent sentences, you use transition words. For example, however, therefore, moreover, so, hence. These are the transition word. You use them to join two independent sentences in the compound sentences. Keep this thing in the mind, that go for the semicolon here. Semicolon. This is semicolon. Yes, this is semicolon. Got it? Semicolon before the transition word. For example, look here, let me explain. This is independent sentence. After independent sentence, go for the use of semicolon, then transition word. Then after you know one thing more about punctuation, always you need to go for the use of comma after these transition words. For example, however, comma, therefore, comma, moreover, comma. So always you know that you go for this short comma, this comma after transition word. So this is the correct structure now, because if we are not using the comma here, the sense would be Usman is the best basketball player. We got it. However, he is weak nowadays. So it again, you need to go for quick reading. So when you go for the quick reading without any pause, doesn't leave a good sense. So then you need to go for use for comma. However, he is weak nowadays. So it is more clear the sense now. So one thing more. First of all, let me make it again clear. To join two compound sentences to join two independent sentences, or to join compound structures, compound sentences, first of all go for the use of fanboys. Then if not fanboys, go for the use of semicolon plus transition words plus comma. Second rule. The third rule: if you are not using fanboys, if you are not using semicolon, transition word and comma, only go for the use of semicolon. Then only two independent sentences will be joined with semicolon. This is semicolon. Understood? That Usman is the best basketball player. However, skip that, comma, skip that. Usman is the best basketball player, semicolon, he is weak nowadays. So by the use of semicolon, this would be correct. So for your punctuation or speech marks are concerned, because we join two independent sentences, compound sentences, with only semicolon as well. Got it? So hopefully you have understood today's lecture. What you need to do, that keep all the rules in your mind and keep practicing them, so that you can have the grip and command over all the rules. And in this way, when at the end of the lecture I will provide you some of the paragraphs, you need to find the items or where the errors lie. Then inshallah, by following these rules, you would be able to attempt this question in a perfect way. Thank you so much, and Allah Hafiz.